So today I'd like to share with you one story that I have. It was a story of getting rejected, but not in a way where I was dejected. And you might not believe that this is true, but it really happened. So here we go. I was working as an iPad developer. So iPad software, iPad app developer. One of the first developer jobs in the world for iPad. I'm not saying that I was one of the very first employees, the top 10, but the iPad was really new, and Apple came out with this newsstand app where you could put magazines in there, and I went to work for a company that needed to transfer their print magazines to digital magazines. And so I was hired to do that. Now, I was working with the company, everything was going great. And then one day, I get called into the manager's office, and it was the son of the company owner. And the company owner wasn't on site that day. There's a lot more to this story. I'm just telling you some of the reasons you could get let go as a developer, and it's not your fault. So I go into the office of the company. I think it was my manager, and it wasn't the company owner's son, but it was really close. And I remember his name in my mind now. I won't mention his name. Yeah, it was the manager's. Manager was like a C level in this smaller company. I think the company employed 75 to 80 people at the time. Now, as a little bit of a backstory, this company had its own chef. You get free lunches, free childcare on site. It was a beautiful campus in Iowa. It was a place where everyone wanted to work, and I had the honor of working there. So I get called into the manager's office. Now, I had detected some things that were going on with the company before this. I noticed that the free lunches were not as good. They started to go down in quality. The second thing I was noticing before this visit to the manager's office was that we had gotten an email saying, please don't drink more milk. That wasn't me, but evidently people were getting into the refrigerator on their breaks and the walk-in fridge and taking milk. And the company started locking down on that. Now remember, the company I was working for was the type of company that offered its employees box seats at the Chicago Bears game at Soldier Field. So you would fly on a private jet from Iowa to Chicago, Illinois, and sit and watch the Bears play. That was offered. I did not take it up. One time I thought I'd get another chance, but I didn't get another chance because of this, what I'm going to explain to you. And so that's the type of company this is. It's a very, very wealthy company, or so you'd think. I get called into the manager's office, and now I'm sitting in front of the manager wondering what's going on. In front of me is just glass windows. His office overlooked. It was like second or third story type office overlooking forest, nature. I remember seeing peregrine falcons out these windows. Just crazy, just amazing and beautiful and crazy. As I sit there, I get told something, and that is we're letting our most expensive employees go and our senior employees go first. And that is because we're having some financial problems. That's all I heard. So I was walking out of his office, and I knew I lost my job. I think I got a week notice, or I had to go, or he's going to pay me for 2 weeks, but I had to get my box. And something echoed through my head as he's telling me this, because if you've ever been let go from a position, you have been, your mind is scrambling. What did I do wrong? What's going on? How am I going to tell my wife? How am I going to tell my kids? And I said, thank you. I started walking out, and he's like, it's not you. It's the company's running out of money. And something echoed through my head. And what it was when another employee was leaving for the day about a week prior, she yelled up the stairwell to me as I saw her leaving. She goes, "You're next." And I didn't know what that meant until the day when I got called into the manager's office. And the manager said that I was let go, but then also he told me that the woman who yelled up to me through the stairwell was also let go. And I didn't know that because I didn't work super closely with that woman. But this guy was telling me that she was let go already. So why am I telling you all this? Well, when you work in tech, you're going to be working for companies that may be stable and may be unstable. I'm going to cut to the chase and tell you this company ended up being shut down essentially by the FBI. And when I was let go before the big shutdown. The story is that our boss, our owner, was found out. Some of the people I worked with saw him attempting suicide out in the lawn. And after that, the FBI swooped in. He had committed a bunch of crimes that we didn't know about. None of us knew about. So I was making apps for this company that was a sham in a way. In a way, it was a sham. Absconding with a bunch of fiduciary money, millions and millions, hundreds of millions. And I ended up getting, later that summer, getting a call from the Wall Street Journal saying, "Hey, what was your take? What was going on?" And then if you watch YouTube or watch, I don't know what crime channel there is, the company I worked for has been on there. So I was rejected, I was let go, but I was not dejected because I realized that because I was working in tech and kind of the edge of tech at the time, I was valued by the company so much so that they let me go before bad things started happening. Really bad things started happening. So I want to tell you that as a story to say, it's not your fault sometimes if you're let go. Remember, I've never told you this, but that was the first job where I was developing apps for iPad or iPhone, and that was an iPad job. And so I, for months, thought, what am I? Why am I let go from this company? And only when it hit the news and FBI was in there did I realize, okay, this is not my fault. I want to encourage you to keep pursuing more jobs. Keep pursuing your tech job or contract. Set your goals and then do everything you can to hit those goals. But don't just keep wandering around thinking you're not good enough. Okay? I took a risk by applying to that job because I told you that was the very first job where I was an iOS developer. Well, I didn't have the experience. I applied knowing that I could probably learn how to do this even on the job. And the company, now that we know what kind of owner we were working with, someone who took a lot of risks, the company took a risk with me. And I think it paid off. I was able to do a lot of work for them in a year. And so it was a great paying job. It was an excellent experience. And at the end, it turned into a huge disappointment, but it wasn't my fault. If you've ever been let go, and you will be let go at some point in tech, because you switched into tech from another career, or because you're learning brand new things, you might be tempted to think it's about you. It's not about you. It's about business. Okay? So if you're let go, you might think, well, it's because I failed them. Well, no. It's probably about business. I read about a bunch of Meta layoffs last week. Saw them all on LinkedIn. Maybe I'll do a video about that. But all those people were let go because they were underperforming. That's sometimes what a business will call a business decision. They can't just say, we're making a business decision. They have to categorize you as an underperformer. Even though I know all those people were probably overperforming. Not all of them, but most of them. So it's not about you. Take some heart, be encouraged, and know that this is not all about you. So keep pushing forward. Keep doing your best. Keep getting better goals, daily tasks. Treat yourself like a business. Market yourself like a business, and get yourself out there to get into your tech job. All right. If you can guess what's on my screen in front of me, good for you, because of my glare on my glasses. Have a great day. Please, if you like this, like the content, subscribe. Most of all, thank you so much for watching this, and I hope it's been encouraging.